Previously on X-Men.
So we're looking at the cash out whole entire thing with the return of Adrian Love. Fani Willis definitely going to be backing this up. It would not surprise me if they decided to do a press conference.
That boy is good. God damn it. You must be crazy. He good. You must be crazy.
Yeah, I know, man. Sadie Nash be right about these things. Because why do I know these things? When you've had bad publicity, when you can get some good publicity, you might want to do it. Man, check out this stupid press conference because I'm about to rip right into him.
See only on Channel 2 Action News at 5. Fulton County prosecutors are walking Channel 2 Action News through how they secured a guilty verdict in the RICO case against Atlanta rapper Cash Out. Channel 2's investigative reporter Ashley Lincoln joins us live now in downtown with the exclusive interview. Ashley, you found out what prosecutors say led the rapper to sex trafficking women for money in the first place.
The Georgia prosecutors told me it was Cash Out's failing music career that led him down this path. They went through dozens of pages of bank statements that showed he made thousands more by pimping women versus the money he made from his career.
When the money went down online, he went to the street.
It's a conviction Fulton County prosecutors say was a joint effort to secure.
They got what they needed to get, which was life.
Prosecutors walked me through their evidence in the RICO sex trafficking case against rapper Cash Out, his cousin Tyrone Taylor, and his mother Linda Smith.
The things I've been accused of, I know that I haven't done those things.
He took no responsibility and accountability for what happened.
Lead prosecutor Ernell Winfrey says Cash Out landed on their radar after various run-ins with police across the metro.
So you did have Gwinnett, you had Lowndes County, you had DeKalb County, you had Fulton County, you had so many counties implicated that we were able to bring in those crimes under the RICO statute.
Chief Deputy District Attorney Adrian Love.
The victims testify that they performed certain acts because they didn't want to get beaten. They didn't want to get run over. They didn't want to get hit in the head with a gun.
And prosecutor Grant Root sifted through thousands of text messages and bank statements.
We were able to show that the money was flowing from specific sex acts committed by trafficked women here in Fulton County up through the enterprise to Gibson to Linda Smith.
District Attorney Fani Willis.
I'm always going to put my best and my brightest on the case, and we are going to make sure that they are out of our community for the rest of their days.
And again, Gibson and his cousin sentenced to life in prison plus 70 years. Linda Smith sentenced to 30 years in prison. Reporting live in downtown Atlanta, I'm Ashley Lincoln, Channel 2 Action News.
Hi, Fani. Hi, Adrian. Look like y'all got a new group of people, huh? Y'all know what y'all didn't see? Y'all didn't see Simone Hilton up there. Y'all didn't see Adam Abate up there. Y'all didn't see Mr. Brown up there with his dancing, giggly self. Why? Because they slightly funking. So Adrian Love basically took a little vacation because Fani Willis almost did something that was snakish. She gave her that vote of confidence that if you watch sports, right, and every man notice, especially when your team ain't good, when the owner comes out and he says, nah, man, the coach is good. He got my full support, man. And next thing you know, y'all know what's happening. Either at the end of the season or by the end of that week, that coach is going to be fired. So I want to show y'all something that was not publicized. It did not get that much attention. But lordy, lordy, lord, this part right here gets crazy because I know exactly what y'all want to hear. Y'all just forgot. Beam me up, Scotty. Let's go. Oh, don't worry. I'm going to let y'all hear the video too because, boy, this got to be one of the dumbest idiots on earth. Atlanta rapper Cash Out gets life in prison after being convicted of RICO case. The rapper, whose legal name is John-Michael Hakim Gibson, was found guilty by a jury last week. Fulton County, Georgia. Atlanta rapper Cash Out, once known for hits including Cashing Out and She Twerking, will spend the rest of his life in prison after being sentenced Monday for his conviction on charges including R and X trafficking. Cash Out, whose legal name is John-Michael Hakim Gibson, was convicted last week after a month-long trial in a racketeering case that accused him of leading a trafficking and prostitution enterprise. Let's get past all these stupid ads. Oh, I'm supposed to hit read more. My bad. His full sentence includes a life sentence and then 70 years in jail. He was given jail sentences on several other charges that were made concurrent, which do not add any additional years. His additional conditions include no contact with any of the victims or their families, registering as an ex-offender, and staying away from several addresses in the metro Atlanta, including the Fulton Industrial Boulevard corridor. Damn, they just said, get up out of there. In court Monday, multiple victims and their families described the pain they've been subjected to, feeling disgusted and unlovable, as well as PTSD, depression, anxiety, and other resulting conditions from being trafficked and coerced into prostitution. The parents of one of the victims said he used his status as a famous musician and his wealth to steal their person, literally stole the souls of all the women they victimized. For the rest of my life, I will fear that he will kill me. All because I wouldn't do what he wanted me to do, one victim said. The rapper, for his part, and this is where I told y'all, everybody agree with me now. Well, I think they already agreed when they heard it too, so I'm not going to say I'm the first one. I just was the first one to say it, but I think we all had the same damn idea. Rejected that he was guilty of trafficking, coercion, and rape, saying the jury made the wrong judgment, suggested the victims were bullied into testifying against him, and invoking Jesus as a falsely accused figure. His attorney had asked for a 30-year sentence, saying the prosecution recommended 25 years before the trial, which he hadn't accepted because he wanted his day in court. Well, nigga, you got it. The attorney asked the judge not to impose a trial penalty, which will result in harsher sentencing. The judge, before reading her sentence, said the evidence at the trial had shown the very worst of human behavior toward other human beings. She said the jury verdict reflected that the prosecution had proven beyond a reasonable doubt that the diabolical conduct of the defendants occurred, and her sentence would be responsive to that. Cash Out was convicted last week after a month-long trial on charges that included aggravated sodomy, ex-trafficking, and racketeering, among other violations. Two others, Linda Smith, his mother, known as Monica Vinny, and Mama Cash Out, and Tyrone Taylor also stood trial and were convicted. Linda Smith was given 30 years in prison, and Taylor was also given given life plus 70 years. Prosecutors had alleged an enterprise and racketeering activity that led to crimes of trafficking and other violence. The prosecutors claimed the case, which was re-indicted in 2023, that Cash Out was the leader of an enterprise, although now administratively dissolved. Cash Out used PMG Pyrex Music Group, LLC, along with this brand name Cash Out to promote his music and the Cash Out brand through the use of deception and then coercion, enticed and recruited women from social media platforms to engage in commercial X activity, the re-indictment states. In a statement from the district attorney's office, Fani Willis said the verdict delivers justice to the survivors who endured the abuse. Yeah, okay. I am grateful to the jury for recognizing the full scope of these crimes through the lens of RICO and seeing them for what they are truly. For they truly are. Organized and calculated acts of cruelty. The statement said this conviction sends a clear message that the buying and selling of human beings, the coercion into X work will be met with full force of the law. Our prosecutors remain steadfast in their mission to hold traffickers accountable, no matter how powerful or well-connected they may be. In Fulton County, there is no safe haven for those who prey on the vulnerable, it added. Cash Out charges, sentence, 1 count, violation of Racketeering Influence Corrupt Organization Act, RICO, 20 years of serving confinement consecutive to 10. You know what? I don't really feel like reading all this crap, but if you want to, I'll go ahead and put this at, you know what, bro? We already heard the damn judge say all that, so it is what it is. But check this out.
That's right. So after a jury convicted him of rape, sex trafficking, keeping a place of prostitution, and a whole lot more, 11 Live's Grace King joins us live from the newsroom. And Grace, you were in the courtroom as all that drama unfolded. What stood out to you?
Well, Ron, I cover a lot of court, and typically if a defendant talks during sentencing, they'll show remorse or ask for leniency. Cash Out didn't do any of that and instead claimed the victims who came forward were bullied into doing so.
On Monday, John-Michael Gibson took the mic one final time. not as the well-known rapper Cash Out, rather as a convicted felon fighting for a chance at freedom.
You know you can be falsely accused of things Jesus was falsely accused of. One day, the truth will come out that these things never happened.
A jury found him guilty on roughly a dozen charges, including RICO, rape, and sex trafficking.
It's never behind me. It's always with me, even in my sleep and my subconscious. It changes you. It shakes you to the core.
Several victims and their families shared stories of the trauma they still endure.
Using his one-hit wonder status to steal their person. He and his mom literally stole the souls of all the women that they victimized.
The judge said the state proved those victims' stories beyond a reasonable doubt and showed no leniency as she sentenced Cash Out, his mother, and his cousin to decades in prison.
Court heard and viewed evidence demonstrating the very worst of human behavior toward other human beings.
His cousin expressed disappointment over the outcome.
And I didn't do.
Mama Cash Out said she'd accept whatever fate she deserved.
When the verdict came in, I wasn't angry at all. Not at all. I was so sorry for the victims, and I pray for them and will continue to pray.
Now, I did speak with one of the jurors after court earlier today. She told me it was a tough case to hear, but that she's confident in their guilty verdict.
All right, Grace, thanks a lot. By the way, we did reach out to the Fulton County DA's office for their reaction to today's sentencing, but we have not heard back just yet.
So they had to re-indict the case. They had to re-indict the case. But here's where the most heinous part of this whole entire thing was. There were two women that essentially were the right hand and the left hand, madams, if you will, that for their testimony and their cooperation, that basically got the job done. So all the transactions, all the bank records, all this stuff, Cash Out was actually moving smart. It's just when they flipped the other ones, that's how that happened. So if this is about justice, Miss Willis, because I ain't going to let you have your victory lap. You already just spread some lies about me that I'm not really happy about, but it is what it is. Hey, all is fair in love and war. So your war, my war is very different. But let's get on to it. If it's about justice, why is the two ladies that were helping facilitate and orchestrate all this stuff and were actively recruiting women, why do they get sweet deals? Basically, they're not going to see anything. Cash Out will be eligible for parole at the tender age of 97. So we'll see if he gets it. We'll check back in this year. In 70 years. We'll check back in on this in 70 years. So his full life sentence is really, he'll be eligible at 97. So if he lives, he lives. If he comes out at 97 years old, I ain't gonna hold you. Yeah, all right. But for those who are criticizing Carlton Matthews, he said something that was very poignant that a lot of people missed. He said, hey, Judge, they were already willing to give him 25 years. So we just asked him for the 30. So please don't stab us. Don't kill us. But the problem with it was, bro, he didn't know. I guarantee you he did not know that this dummy was going to go up there and basically compare himself to Jesus. And on top of that, the nail in the coffin was actually his mom's plea out. Basically saying, I feel sorry for everybody. I pray for them and all this stuff and everything. She used religion as she was supposed to. Now, granted, the mom's name was only brought up like 5 times in the trial. So the mom basically was one of those individuals who knew, who benefited, just didn't give a damn. One thing that happens that a lot of people don't want to admit is you do one or two things when you know crime is going on. You either report it or you get the hell away from it. Majority of us choose to get the hell away because what we don't want is we don't want the backlash. We don't want to come to anybody's freaking trial date to say this, to say that, or anything like that. That's the majority of people who don't want to be involved, whether you're a so-called street person or you are a civilian. Now, with all this being said, ain't it funny how Adrian Love all of a sudden is the head person and all of this crap? Fani Willis is on a rampage to repair her image. And if you don't believe me, make sure you got them bells on, because I'm going to drop something that's exclusive as well. And I am telling you, when y'all see this, there is no way in hell that you can't say this ain't coordinated. And I know for a fact that what they're doing isn't going to work. You want to know why? Because of y'all. Ain't nobody believing shit. But I'm going to show y'all in a couple of hours exactly how Fani Willis ass is trying to repair her image. This right here, this is disgusting. Why? Because if it was all about justice, everybody involved would be done. You don't cop deals or strike pleas for anybody. If we all are guilty, we're all guilty. Only thing we can all do is plead out. But that's not what happened. She gave the sweetest of sweetest deals to them two women. Now for the two ladies, I ain't mad at them. One of them was actually pregnant. So it is what it is. You never, if you're the boss, you never involve certain people because you just don't know. That's why a lot of you cats who understand way better than everybody else is, you do your dirt all by your lonely. Subscribe, turn on bells to notify, share to keep your people aware. Master P, not Master P, baby, Birdman. What happened to that boy? Man, they saying the Magnolias is bad out here, dick. Check right here to keep up with everything, and I will catch y'all in that next one.